man, what's happening?
Oh, hey, what's up?
You didn't do a Formers Friday last week.
No, didn't have time for a Formers Friday last week, although, I mean, we did 5 Transformers reviews last week, so I figured Transformers was covered.
Alright, that makes sense, but then what are you going to do for this week?
No, really not sure what I'm doing this week. I mean, it could pretty much be whatever.
Good, I got you covered. Here, I tell you what, you do this one, I'm going to do this guy.
What's this? Wait, what are you doing? Why do I have a raccoon?
Yeah.
Why does he have a clock in his chest? Hey! What is this thing?
Quiet, you. I'm trying to record a show in here.
Hey guys! Welcome back to Formers Friday. I'm your host, Dirt. And today we're taking a look at a Japanese-only exclusive. This is from Beast Wars Neo. This is a line that didn't come to the United States. See, the Japanese didn't like the CG animated Beast Wars that we all loved, so they made their own series over there with the traditional cell-animated animation. Animated animation. There you go. We're on a roll today, this Friday. Regardless, though, this is Stampy. And Stampy is actually a white robot transformer. Let's throw him in the photo tent, take a look. Now you can see here from his box, what's kind of interesting is even though they didn't like the CG animated show, they still put a CG animated character on the box. And even though he wasn't really part of the cartoon in that way, that was just kind of the way they did Transformers anyway, just to have some artwork on the box. You can see we've got a nice window. It does say Beast Wars over to the side, and it has the picture here, the little Beast Wars logo thing there. If you take a look at the side, it can show how his ears that are part of the arm can actually flip around, work as like his own slicing weapon. You've got some information on the back. You've got some more products here on the bottom. If you want to buy some other characters, they had 2-packs where you could actually buy a 2-pack of the characters versus each other. And there's another version of Stampy there with that lizard dude. And then over here, interestingly enough, there's a little die-cut window in the box. And there's another flap on the inside. And there, this shows that Stampy actually can become a weapon. And another Transformer can actually hold Stampy in their hand, and his ears become like scissor weapons, I guess, in case you wanted to do that. So that's something that we may try out when Dingleberry in the other room can get his alarm clock there transformed. And then on the top, it shows you all 3 modes: robot, weapon, and bunny. Alright, let's pop this guy open here real quick and take a look. I'm going to try not to damage this box since this was sent in by a viewer. I'm going to try to do this as gently as I can because I know he loves his toys. Alright, we've got an insert here with some more artwork. The window, if you notice, the window has now disappeared. The window is actually part of the plastic that's holding Stampy in place, so that's cool. We've got your instructions that are all in Japanese, so that's going to make that super fun to try to figure out. I have a hard enough time with just the pictures that Hasbro puts out without having the English. Oh my gosh. There's a trading card of the character, gives their stats. So I guess maybe if you want to play like a game of war or something with it, you call out the stat, you throw down your card, boom. You've got your registration here, which probably no longer any good, I would assume. And then you've got the character of Stampy. So let's grab Stampy. Let's see, there's no tape or anything holding him in, is there? No bands or anything? Alright, now since this was sent in by a viewer, I believe he's already opened this once and played with it a couple times, but he put it all back together for the sake of showing it off on this review. But for the most part here, everything is still kind of spot on for what you're going to see. Here is the rabbit, and he's kind of in mid-jump mode here. And his animal mode, let's see, you can kind of play with a little bit. Get his legs up. Now his head, he's got those crazy rabbit eyes that are all red. There's his ears with a little bit of a nick. Interesting thing, you can see here on the ears There's a little bit of circuitry and whatnot kind of actually sculpted in, so even though this is his disguised rabbit mode and you've got little bits of, you know, kibble and whatnot sticking out, they still did it that way so you could tell easily that he is in fact half machine. From this point of view, you know, looking at him, you know, just kind of this way like a rabbit, he doesn't look too bad. Again, you know, there's little bits of the pieces sticking through, but for the most part, he looks kind of like a little rabbit. But as soon as you turn him this way, the illusion, you know, completely falls apart. You can see all the circuitry in there. You've got his chest piece with some sort of gem here with that kind of maximals, or what I think these were the Cybertronons or Cybertrons or whatever, had some weird name. Here's the handle that you would actually hold him in weapon mode, right there. Some more pieces of the circuitry and whatnot. So the illusion of it being an animal really only works, and on this side you've got the giant screw sticking out in his tail. So from this side you can show him off as being, hey look, I've got this toy rabbit with some funky stuff on the side, but really from any other view it doesn't work quite as well. Alright, so now using the magic of oh, haha, I had my glasses on. No, I didn't. You didn't see that. I'm not getting old. So anyway, using the magic of video editing, we are now going to make him magically transform. Let's hop back in and take a look at his robot mode. So there he is in his robot mode glory. A couple things to say about this. First of all, again, because he's got the weapon mode, here's the handle just sticking out of his midsection. So he's got some kind of weird thing going on here. I don't even want to get into that. His hands on his transformation here, this is the inside of his head. This would be the mouth area, is kind of his grip. But the way they actually molded his hands, it looks like there's fingers on the inside here. So it's like his hand is like a fist, but then like his thumb is sticking out or something. I'm not sure. And then this weird, you know, claw thing from the head is wrapped around. So at first my thought was this is him gripping, you know, that was supposed to be the open grip there, but then the way they have those other fingers molded on, it doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense, but whatever. His ears, you know, become these giant things in the back, and you can kind of adjust them and play around with them, but they really don't serve a whole lot of purpose, do a whole lot of much of anything except kind of get in the way. So there's no real way to kind of fold those back and get rid of them. And when you use your hands the way you're supposed to, they are sticking way out on the side. You kind of fold them like that, and then you've got these giant things stuck to the side. But I don't know, I guess some people like that look. And there's a close-up on his face. You can actually see he's got a little mouth there. Apparently on the cartoon show he is the youngest character on the team, and so he's got his little young smirk there, doesn't know any better. The head sculpt actually looks pretty cool. It's a pretty original look, especially for the time. The back of the helmet. Now, you do have these weird rabbit legs just kind of sticking in the back, but that happened a lot on the Beast Wars figures. As much as I love the cartoon show, not necessarily a fan of the toys and a lot of the you know, extra bits there that are stuck to it. Another weird thing is with the feet. His bunny paws actually fold backwards, and then you flip out these little gray feet on the front, which makes it look really weird. I mean, you've got extra space, which I guess is good for him to maintain his balance, because he does have this extra stuff here, but nonetheless, it does just strike you from the get-go, like, it looks like this is backwards, but that's really how it's supposed to go. You do have knee articulation there, and it does twist a little bit as well, so that is kind of nice. A little bit of added bonus there. You've got the thigh motion, you've got shoulders, you've got elbows, and the head can move, and that's really about it. There's not a whole lot to his articulation. Now, one weird thing is when you flip these sections down to attach them in order to make his arms out here, you actually attach the piece of the shoulder to this little gray clip. And that little gray clip kind of goes into his weapon mode. When he's in his weapon mode, the ears become like scissors, and they're supposed to have like this chomp ability, where you push down on his tail, and it makes these gray pieces move. But when he's in robot mode, you actually can still use it. You push down on it, and it just kind of pushes his arms out a little bit. And it's really kind of hard. I just pushed his head down in there. It's hard to really kind of get a good grip on him in order to do it right. But when you slide it down, you can see it just kind of moves up and down. Woo! He's having a party! And that's all it is. I mean, it actually shows in the instructions that you can do that, and it just shows that the arms barely move. It looks like they're vibrating. Took me a minute to figure out what it was trying to tell me. It looks like they're just kind of shaking, and yeah, that's precisely what happens here. They just kind of move. So there you go. That's his robot mode. Overall, not really all that appealing in robot mode. I do like the idea of these jewels with the symbol in there. I don't know how well that shows up on camera, if you can see that behind all the glare, but it does have that symbol back there, so that does look pretty cool. But the rest of the figure, not a lot of articulation you can do with him. The special features kind of goofy, and this whole arm situation, just the hand thing just kind of freaks me out, whatever. But nonetheless, there is Stampy for your enjoyment. Now, we did talk about the fact that he has a weapon mode, and even though we don't have another guy with him, it actually shows that the guy it's supposed to be is this giraffe guy that turns into a robot. Here, let me throw this in real quick so you can see. There's the giraffe guy transformed into the robot mode, and there's Stampy in his little scissor attack mode, and you can see again it shows it vibrating and shaking there. Now we'll go ahead and use the magic of video editing to go ahead and flip him into that weapon mode, even though we don't have a robot for him to attach to at the moment. But let's go ahead and take a look at that weapon mode. And there it is. That's his amazing weapon mode. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, I think you did that wrong, Dirt. Well, let's take a look at the picture on the box here real quick. There it is, just like that, and there it is, just like that. Yeah, see, look, that's all there is to it. So this is his scissor weapon mode, and the idea being that, again, he'd be grabbed down here, and he would be like a scissor weapon because of the action feature built into the figure. Where you pull on the tail, push it, or I guess push it down. You don't pull on it, you push it, and the arms move like this. And so somehow that's his scissor action, his scissor weapon action. So these don't actually cut into each other. These will smash into each other, but these don't actually do anything. But yet, there you go. That's the third mode special feature. So if you can imagine another figure holding it like this, look at my mangled bunny weapon. I guess that would freak me out. If I saw this on the battlefield, if I saw something coming that looked like a rabbit all folded over and they were threatening me with ears that don't quite cut close together, I'd be thinking, yeah, this dude's crazy. I'm going to get the hell away from him because that is bizarre. So anyway, guys, there's Stampy. Now I'm going to get Hingle McCringleberry in there to come in, and he can give you a look at his alarm clock, dude. Are you ready? Huh. Okay, so now it's my turn, I guess, and I have Heinrad, or Heinrad. Not sure exactly how you're supposed to pronounce it. He's a raccoon with a clock on his chest. I'm really not sure how I feel about this guy right now. Let's throw him in the photo tent. Take a look. So, I'm going to have to re-zoom here. Let's see here. So here's Heinrad, and apparently in the cartoon show, he had the ability to stop time. He could stop time for a couple seconds, and they could pull off some sort of whatever. I don't know what they had to do. Never seen the show. But regardless, this clock on his chest actually works as an actual alarm clock. It would actually keep real time, and you could actually set it to go off at some point. Of course, probably not going to have the right batteries for it. I don't even see batteries listed on the package anywhere. Probably says on the inside. Okay, but anyway, you've got the CG artwork of the character from the show right there. He is number S3. I don't know if that means anything or not. You've got the cutout here that shows him in his alt mode, where he's carrying tea and biscuits, I guess. I don't know what that is. It's down here also. He's got like a little jug and a little case. But apparently you can put those together and it makes this big gun that he carries when he's in a robot mode. He also has a visor that can flip down when he stops time. Apparently he uses that visor. You can see the gun again. You can see the clock feature, and it shows the gun is actually shooting. Oh, we've got a shooting part in this. All right, that'll be interesting. It shows the alarm going off here in his alt mode, and it shows, I don't know what it shows. I guess you push down on the head in order to turn off the alarm. Like you put him in the alarm mode, and does he only go off when he's in the alt mode? So you got to transform him and then push his head down in order to shut him off. I guess that's one way to make sure you wake up in the morning. There are his two modes on the top and the bottom. It shows those versus packages we talked about earlier. So there you go. Oh, and there's the word I couldn't pronounce earlier. Cybertron, I guess. Instead of Autobot or Decepticon, it's Cybertron is the name of the Maximals, really, is what they are. So, all right then. Let's see. This has been opened once before, so we will try to gently. It's already creased, man. I didn't do that. That crease was already there. I swear, that crease was already there. All right, let's open this box up. We've got some more artwork in the back. There's the Maximal, and it looks like shattered ice or shattered glass behind him. Pull him out. Take the box out of here. Nothing else in the box, right? Okay. And he is inside the plastic. And here we've got, oh, a nifty little catalog that's going to show us a bunch of the toys, I bet. And some artwork, it looks like, from the show, because the show was the traditional cell animated instead of the CG. So we've got some artwork there showing that. Probably the story, all the different toys, different things available. That's cool. People love to look at that. More instructions, of course, all in Japanese. So I am going to be at a huge disadvantage putting this together. And then we've got our little envelope here. It's got another little catalog of some sort. It's got the trading card and the registration. You take a look here. I'm not so much worried about the registration. The trading card, again, shows the character, has his stats. Oh, they're all question marks. Oh, so maybe you can't play a little game with these, like I thought originally. Alright, well anyway, there's the dude. All you know about him is that stat, whatever that one is, that's a 7. I really have no idea what that says. And another little catalog here that shows off more of the toys. Now there's the giraffe guy that holds Stampy as a gun. You can see him in robot mode, so imagine Stampy is on that one. But otherwise, there you go. Oh, there's Optimus Prime, or Big Prime, I think is Big Convoy is what his name was here, the woolly mammoth. Now, I believe that's the same woolly mammoth mold that they used for the BotCon Ultra Magnus that they made a couple years ago. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. And then Megatron, and this one was Magmatoron or whatever, and he was actually 3 different dinosaurs. They didn't turn into robots on their own, but you could take the 3 dinosaurs and kind of kit bash them almost in order to make Magmatoron dude. So there's that, and that shows you pretty much the extent of what I know about Beast Wars Neo from Japan. All right, move that stuff out of the way.
Okay, there's the opening there. A little piece of clear plastic to keep everything in place. There are the missiles that shoot. I'm not even going to take those out of the package, because if I do, I will immediately lose them, and I really don't want to do that. Let's take out our raccoon. We'll take out his tea here and his biscuits, I'm guessing. And we'll set this off to the side, out of the way. Now they show that if you take this raccoon guy and you hold out his arms, he holds one of these in one hand and one in the other hand. These are actual cords on here, not little pieces of plastic, actual fiber cords. And there you go, he's carrying the snacks. I'll zoom in here a little bit. Now I have no idea what these Japanese characters mean. I am not a student of the Japanese language, so whatever they mean, I don't know. Maybe this one says surf and that one says turf. I don't know. But regardless, that's how he's meant to be displayed in his alt mode. And again, something that's weird about this line is that, you know, it looks like a raccoon, but of course he's got this giant clock, and it's got tubes coming out of it like it's wired in. You've got these robotic testicles down here. I'm not even sure. We got some big balls underneath his body section. I don't know what else those are supposed to be. And then if you turn to his back, you can see the openings here with robotic pieces showing through. So it's like the alt modes are there, you know, to turn them into animal-like shapes, but they don't go all the way. They don't cover everything that looks robotic. So it's like half robot, half animal, like Anabot, I guess you could say. The face, I think, actually looks pretty cool for being a raccoon, and he's got some articulation there, can look up and down. I think that's actually pretty nice. The arms have the ability, they kind of ratchet. You can kind of see the grooves there that they can ratchet on. You can move those around. You've got a ball joint in there at the elbow. Another one on the hand. The thumb does that flip around thing. So that's pretty cool. The legs have a ball joint, but there's no articulation as far as like the foot or the ankle goes, just up here at the top. So that's there. And the tail can move up and down, and that's really about it. So there you go. That's it for the articulation in the alt mode. And whether or not you like this look, I guess, is going to depend on whether or not you like toys that are super Japanese, that have absolutely nothing to do with American culture. Then you can look at that. But I don't know. To me, there's just something weird about a raccoon with semi-robot arms, robot testicles, and a giant clock on his front chest. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's what gets some other people going. I don't know. But let's go ahead and use the magic of video editing, and we'll pop him into robot mode and take a look and see how he looks now. In robot mode, there's actually a lot more going on here than I originally thought there would be when I started transforming this character. And I have to say, in robot mode, I think I kind of like him a little more. I'm not too keen on that raccoon, but in robot mode, there's some neat things going on here that I at least have to give them credit for. And so I want to talk about those things real quick. All right, one, if you look at the head, get a close-up here on the head. Here is the visor flipping down, and that really does make a big difference in his look. I didn't think that was going to be that big of a deal, but like this, I think he actually looks really cool. I mean, that's okay, whatever, but bam, that dude is styling. So I enjoy that quite a bit. And then, of course, the head moves as part of that whole thing with the alarm clock thing. I kind of took a quick look back here, but it looked like there had been a sticker on top of the battery compartment at one time, and I decided I didn't want to mess with that. This is someone else's toy, so I didn't want to start taking their whole thing apart, whatever. Especially if they've removed the batteries, because they didn't want everything getting corroded. I wasn't going to mess with putting it back in. All right, the little robot raccoon testicle things that we couldn't figure out, they become like these little pouches. on his side. There's his little maximal insignia thing right there, and that actually makes a pretty good look. Even though he's got these raccoon legs back here that really serve no purpose and they're just kind of in the way, having this extra little piece there helps to kind of hide that from the overall look. I mean, the bulk of the upper body all kind of comes together with the way these legs form together, and then you have like these little supply pouches. So I actually thought that was a neat effect, the way it draws the eye that way. I'm going to give him some extra credit on that. I've always said that I do like the big bulky look of the original G1 Transformers, and this one, because of the way it kind of rips his head in half and the upper part of his body and makes it into these giant shoulder pieces, I actually kind of like the heft and the extra, you know, muscle it looks like behind it, the extra bulk to it. I think that's really neat. His gun that comes together with the pots, or the pot and the candy bag, whatever, there is an actual handle, and the handle has a cutout, and there's a little piece on the hand that attaches to, so this is actually attached to his hand. So he's not going to be dropping that anytime soon. That's actually, you know, in place pretty well, stuck in there pretty permanently. Well, not permanently, but it's stuck in there well enough that it's not going to just fall out by shaking him around and whatnot. And yes, it does shoot, and I guess I'll go ahead and try it. There you go. It does shoot the missiles. Now, those of you paying attention earlier noticed that there were 2 missiles in the package. There's only one spot for a missile right here. So where's the other missile? They actually put spots on his legs where you can attach the missiles so you don't lose him when he is in his robot form. That is a super cool idea. There's this little notch right there on the missile, and there's a little hole in his leg, and you can actually take these missiles and put them in the notches to keep them safe, so they don't accidentally fire and you lose him while he's on display. And I thought that was super cool. That was a really neat idea. I really like how that worked out overall. The legs actually look nice. They have the nice robot form, and you've got some extra stability. Not only do you have this little back toe, but when the leg splits apart here, you actually have this little flap, and that flap actually helps to give him some stability to help him stand up a little better. Plus, this piece in the back actually folds out of the way, and that way you can move the leg and pose him without it getting in the way. That is a super great idea. And when you fold it up, it actually folds up right in line with just the perfect cutout here for the leg. So if your leg is straight, then it's the perfect shape. If you want to move him, then it actually folds out of the way there so you can get some better opposing options out of him. So I have to say, in this robot mode, I actually like the character. I think this is actually really neat. If I was going to put this on display, I would definitely have him in the robot mode, not the raccoon mode, but in this mode right here. I think this is actually a nice looking robot. This is a neat toy. Since we can't really do a whole lot with the alarm clock thing, I will show you. Back here, when you fold the tail out of the way, it actually covers up this little knob. This is your knob for setting your alarm, and I guess you pull it out, and then you could change the hands on the clock, on the time, change the alarm and everything like that. So that's kind of your basic cheap, if you've ever had a cheap travel alarm clock or a cheap toy, some kind with a clock on it, that's how that works. And they just kind of built it into the toy. And since he's got the ability to stop time, it kind of makes sense he has a clock there. So, and in robot mode, I think that actually looks pretty cool. So overall, I'm going to say in robot mode, he gets a thumbs up. In the alt mode, where he's the raccoon, not really that keen on the character, but this robot mode is actually pretty cool to me. I like that quite a bit. So there you go. I mean, which one do you like better? Do you like the rabbit better? Do you like the raccoon better? Are you just surprised that there are all these Transformers that you've never seen because they were Japanese only? I think it's actually really cool that we can take a look at these, and I want to thank John Proft for sending these in so that we could show them here on the show. So everybody give him a round of applause and a big thumbs up.
Don't forget to go to popculturenetwork.com where you can check out more toy reviews, stuff about comic books, video games, whatever that we might have there on the site, including John Proft's own review of the new Godzilla movie. He did that for the website, and we said, yeah, we'll throw it up there. Thanks a lot for sending that in. You can also go to jointheforums.com, the official forums of the Pop Culture Network. You can talk to all the other great people there about neat stuff just like this. You can also find me personally on Twitter if you want to go to @PCN_dirt. You want to ask me some questions. You got a follow-up. You got something else you want to see reviewed on the show. Make sure you let me know there. You can also call our 24-hour voicemail line. It's area code 217-953-4025. That number is burned into my brain. I'm never going to forget it. Make sure you call and leave us a voicemail message. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.